Okay, hello everyone. This is Ray Langlois with the WilCo Wellness Alliance, and Melissa and I are here today to talk about Making an Impact, Why Data Matters workshop. This workshop is going to be about how to use the healthywilliamsoncounty.org website in order to do some data analysis. We just have a few things at the beginning just to let you know that we are recording our webinar today, and we'll have it posted on the healthywilliamsoncounty.org website. Also, that if you have any questions, go ahead and type them into the comment box, and then we'll also open up, unmute everyone later on if you have a question you just want to ask us. And at the very end of our presentation today, we'll be sending out a survey link over email to follow up. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Melissa Tunn, who is a systems analyst with the Williamson County and Cities Health District, and let her get us started on this workshop.
Great. Thanks, Ray. And so feel free to follow with me as we begin to discuss healthywilliamsoncounty.org. And on the screen, you can see that's the link, www.williamsoncounty.org. And so just for those who don't know, healthywilliamsoncounty.org is a website that provides over 200 health data indicators, provides information about the community health improvement process, as well as the WilCo Wellness Alliance, which is the county's health and wellness coalition. As well, it provides additional community resources that can benefit not only organizations but as well as community members. And so it's a one-stop shop that we really, as the Alliance and as the Health District, want to empower community to make better data-driven decisions as well as improve the health of the community. And so, yes, so so a couple objectives. One, we're gonna just give a brief overview on what the data is available on the website, as well as kind of teach you some of the different steps on searching for data. Two, we're gonna do a brief, just kind of scavenger hunt case study on one example, finding one example of data, and then three, we're going to look at some of the unique features on the website. And I want to encourage everyone, the website can look intimidating, but once you kind of learn the ins and outs, it gets more easier to search for data. Great, and so, I guess kind of why we're doing this training is because we really want to empower our community members to know how to better use the data that's available, but as well as when y'all write grants and reports or try to make data-driven decisions, you have the tools and resources to do that. And so hopefully through this training you will feel more empowered and have the skills to do so. And so what kind of data is available on this website? We have about 3 different types of data. Demographic data, so information about race, age, ethnicity, health data specific to, for example, information about cancer, diabetes, heart disease and stroke, and then as well as socioeconomic indicators, for example, information about income, poverty, the school environment. And so, and also this PowerPoint will be available on the website, and so you don't have to frantically take notes if you're doing so. As well as we have about 225 indicators on the website. More than half are related to Williamson County. About a third is related to a city. For example, you can find data about Georgetown or Round Rock or Hutto. About a third is zip code based, and then about a third is census tract based. And why we promote using census tract data is because we know that it is a more refined way of kind of seeing how different indicators span across the county. And we know that one neighborhood, even in the same zip code, might be very different from another neighborhood in a zip code. And also just, we also have recently added some new data because Georgetown Health Foundation, who funded by a grant, we have now more veterans-related data, more elderly 65 and older data, as well as mental health and substance abuse data. And that's all found under a new data dashboard on the website. Lots exciting. As well as our data sources are very reliable and valid. We have data from the Centers for Disease Control, the county health rankings, behavioral risk factor surveillance system, the Texas Department of Health and Human Services, from the census. And I just wanted to highlight one specific data source that we're very excited about, which is the 500 Cities Project. And this is the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention wanted to do a neighborhood breakdown of different health behaviors and health outcomes for the top 500 cities. And so Round Rock qualified for one of the top 500 cities in the nation, and so we have very localized data for Round Rock for like smoking and cancer prevention, mammograms, pap smears, etc. And so we're very excited for that, as well as Nielsen Claritas data, which is up-to-date demographic data. We have information about age, race, ethnicity for 2017 data. So very excited about that. Okay, and so now we're going to just go through briefly how to find data on the website. And so if you, we're going to be going, we'll be navigating to the actual website a little later, but we're going to go through this PowerPoint in case internet cuts out. And so if you ever have any trouble finding data, you always go back to, there's this navigation bar, and it says WilCo data, and if you can click on the all Williamson County data, that whenever you're having trouble, just always go back to this drop down and this link, and out is where you want. And so there's 5 different ways to search for data on this website. You can either 1, search by keyword, 2, find an indicator, 3, find a location, 4, build a custom dashboard, and 5, select a dashboard. And so I'm just going to go through briefly how to do so. And so once you click the WilCo data, all Williamson County data, you will see this community health dashboard splash page. And so the first and easiest way is to search by keyword. And so, for example, you see this search bar, and then you're trying to find, for example, information about diabetes. And so the first thing you do is write a keyword, diabetes. And that will pull up all these indicators about diabetes, and then you can select and click and explore in that sense. The second way is to find an indicator by, for example, if you know of something specific, you want to find, so for example, age-adjusted hospitalization rates for diabetes. So you know something you're specifically trying to find. This is a great way when you know the actual name and when you kind of want to explore all the different types of indicators for diabetes. Third, if you want to find indicators specifically for a location, for example, you can find all the, you want to kind of see what the general indicators for 78626, a zip code in Georgetown. And it will pull up all the indicators for that location, and you can help begin to make data-driven decisions about that one location. And so, like I mentioned, there are different types of locations on this website. The county, Williamson County, different cities, zip codes, and census tracts. Oh, and someone asked on the chat, why does 500 Cities Project have asterisks? The reason for the asterisk is just to remind me to kind of tell you about the cool resource we have on the website. and it's specifically only for Round Rock in Williamson County. And yes, there's a specific way to access census tract data, and we can kind of go at the end, and I kind of show you how to do so. Great. Number 4 is you can build a custom dashboard, and if you're interested in kind of sending a community partner a list of indicators, you can actually do so through Build a Customized Dashboard. You can also filter by sources. So if you this is how I would want to find, for example, all the data from 500 Cities Project. This is a great way to build a dashboard for a specific data source. 5 is looking at the kind of the dashboards that we have already pre-built on the website. And so once you go back to this main splash page and kind of scroll down a little bit, you will see some dashboards that we have created. And so the dashboards are basically just a grouping of indicators that we've kind of grouped based on similar topics. So we have an aging dashboard that kind of shows all the indicators related to aging, a children dashboard related to all the indicators about children. We have a disparity dashboard that kind of shows within a specific indicator how maybe, for example, different age and race group differs between that one indicator, as well as a social and physical determinants of health dashboard. And so I'm just going to click on the social and physical determinants of health dashboard and kind of show you. So this is how a dashboard looks like. You will see a drop down on the top of the screen where you can kind of change location if you're interested. You can click green 9 square button, and that will actually turn all your indicators into these little cards where you can actually download to your desktop and actually embed them into a grant or a report. And they have all the information you need, including data source, on that card. You can turn the colorblind mode on button if you are colorblind and need a little bit more assistance on the website. As well as you see this grouping, it says health/disabilities. Indicators are grouped by a specific topic. And so I'm just going to pretend to scroll down and show you one specific indicator. It says median household income. And so for any indicator, you'll first see a value. And so the median household income in Williamson County is $73,000. And then you will see the data source below. So this specific number is specific to the date range between 2011 to 2015. And so for every single indicator, you will see this comparison. And this is kind of how you begin to interpret your data point. So when you compare to Texas counties, you will see that median household income is on the green side. It is better than most Texas counties. The next one is U.S. counties. We are also in the green. When we compare to Texas value, median household income in the county is greater than the Texas value, as well as U.S. value, and it specifies what the Texas value and U.S. value is. When compared to the prior measurement period, it is trending up. It is trending. That means when you kind of understand kind of the comparison, you can make sort of an argument that, for example, median household income is increasing in Williamson County over time when compared to Texas and U.S. counties. However, as we all probably know, that median household income ranges across the county, that one part of the county might have higher income compared to, for example, the western part has higher income than the eastern part of the county. And so we're going to dive in a little deeper. And so when you click this blue link, you can kind of, this will pull up this indicator a page. And so for each indicator, this is kind of what it looks like. There's the title, median household income. The first drop down is by location, and this is a great way if you want to look at median household income, for example, for Georgetown. You can click the drop down and type in Georgetown, and you can select the Georgetown median household income. You can click the next one, the measurement period, and see how the income is trending over time. The next, right below, you'll see the definition of the median household income, and so this is a great way to kind of hone into what this indicator actually is. It says household income is defined as the sum of money received over a calendar year by all household members 15 years and older. So you know that this household income is not just for one specific person, but it's for the whole household, and it's for all individuals 15 years and older. Right below it is why this is important, and this is a great description for when you're writing a grant or a report, and you need to justify why this data point is important. This is a great way to kind of summarize, and you can maybe edit it to fit your needs, and so it's already done some of the interpretation for you. When you scroll down, you will see the square box. You will continue to see the similar information, as well as where this data source comes from, the American Community Survey. It has a link so that you can continue to browse for more information on the website. When it was last updated, January 2017, so you know that this data point is up and current. You can see the similar comparison data that we saw on the previous PowerPoint slide, as well as this graph right below it. And you can kind of see how median household income has changed over time. And this, you can actually download this graph as well as embed it to a report or a document you're writing. And so when you scroll, I'm going to pretend to scroll down, and then you'll see this another graph, median household income by race/ethnicity. And you'll see these types of graphs through depending on the indicator, and it kind of shows different disparities, for example, for race and ethnicity. When Asians compared, this has a statistically higher median household income compared to the county versus American Indians or Alaska Natives, Black or African Americans tend to have lower median household income compared to the county. And so when Susie had asked if there's a specific way to access, is there a specific way to access census tract data? This is a great way to map, kind of show indicators across the map. It's hard to know what the census tract number is, and so this is a great way if you want to see comparison, for example, across counties. You can see how the indicator varies over a census place city, a zip code, or a census tract. And so, for example, I'm going to select the census place cities, and then you'll see how the median household income indicator tracks over different cities, and you can actually download this map, as well as look at what the different measurement periods or different median household incomes is over different cities. And then you can also choose different comparisons. You want to see how median household income tracks with with the Williamson County, Texas value or the Texas state value. This is a great way to do so. And so we're going to go, the cool thing about this website, so someone had asked, what do the different colors mean on the graph bars? And so kind of the increasing different shades of blue, you can kind of see there's a legend right below it. So the light blue is that median household income ranges from $36,000 to $37,000 for that city. And then the darkest blue is $76,000 to $99,000. And And so this legend will be helpful in interpreting the different shades of blue. And so we're going to go for more localized data. And so for zip code data, you can kind of see how median household income tracks across the county. The darkest blue is down south compared to the eastern Williamson County, which has lighter blue. So, as well as, I just wanted to highlight, you can also download any of our data that's available on the website. If you see on the right-hand corner, there's a download indicator data CSVs where you can download all the numbers if you want to do your own graphs and tables. As well as I mentioned, census tract, which are more neighborhood level data points, and you can see that within a specific zip code, you can see greater variation in median household income. And so it's a great way to make better data-driven decisions so that you can hone in specifically on an area of need. And so, for example, we know that Eastern Williamson County has a lower median household income. However, we can kind of hone in into specifically to Taylor as well as the areas above to target resources and services to meet the needs, because we know that that area has even lower median household income. Great. And so we're just going to kind of test our skills in all, because I know what I just said was a lot of information, and so let's see if we can actually find the information we need on this website. So for example, so if you could follow along, I'll just remind you of the URL link. It's www.healthywilliamsoncounty.org. And so, for example, if you're trying to write a grant for asthma, and you're trying to find additional information about asthma. So how do you do that? And so you can see there are 4 different questions that we've kind of come up with. So let's see if you can find this information on your own. And so the first question is, what is the asthma rate for adults and children in Williamson County? 2, what is the asthma rate specifically in zip code 78665? 3 is, what is the measurement period and source of the data? And 4 is, what direction is the data trending? And so I will kind of guide you once we take a couple minutes to answer these questions. So hopefully everybody tried to answer these questions, and I'm going to kind of show you how the process that I use to find this information. So we're trying to find information about asthma, right? And so first of all, I will go back to the WilCo data tab and select all Williamson County data. And because I don't really know what I'm looking for or what specific indicator I'm looking for, I'm just going to type in asthma in the search by keyword box. And so you'll see all these indicators that have been tagged with asthma. And since I'm just trying to find asthma rate for adults and children, I'm going to select the age-adjusted hospitalization rate due to asthma. And I'm not going to choose the one specific for adult asthma or the one specific to pediatric asthma. So I'm going to select that, and it's going to ask me, do I want it specifically for county or for zip code? And since the first question says, what is the asthma rate in Williamson County, I'm going to select an overview for the county. And obviously, age-adjusted hospitalization rate due to asthma is the number of individuals that have been hospitalized by asthma. So it isn't really the asthma rate in Williamson County. However, it is the closest data point that we have, and so we're just going to kind of apply the data point to our needs. And so if I scroll down, I can see that this is the counties for Williamson County. The measurement period is from 2011 to 2013. So it's not the most current data point. However, it is the most current data point that we have access to. And then you can see on the left-hand side, there are about 6.8 hospitalizations per 10,000 people in the county. So the next question is, so that answers my first question. So, however, what if I want to know the asthma rate, specifically in zip code 78665? And so I am going to go back to, like I mentioned, there's a drop-down, right? And I'm going to type in the zip code 78665. And I'm going to select that. And so, compared to the 6.8 in Williamson County, the asthma rate in 78665 on the left-hand side says there are 7.3 hospitalizations per 10,000 population. So it is greater than the county value. And so the third question is, what is the measurement period and source of the data? And I kind of talked about it earlier. The measurement period is between 2011 and 2013. And the source of the data is the Texas Department of State Health Services. And like I mentioned, when I click it, it'll bring me to the data source. And then if you're interested in looking more into the data, that's a great way to do so. Lastly, what direction is the data trending for 78665? And the trend is increasingly significantly. And whenever you hover over these icons, they will give you a description so that you're not just trying to make up what it's trying to say, and you can actually see, oh, there is a significant increase or a significant decrease. As well as when we scroll down, you can see how asthma compares across the different zip codes. And this is a great way to, and when I click on one of them, it will pull up that specific number. And that's kind of how I recommend you to look up information specific to zip code or census tract, because you might not know what the name of the zip code or the census tract is. And so when I hover over these, it will actually hover over the map. And when you click this hamburger icon, you can actually export the graph or the map to embed in your report. And so I'm going to quickly go over some of the other community resources we have on this website. This webinar is only supposed to be 30 minutes, and so I'm just going to briefly go over them. And if you have questions, we can always answer them. You can always email us, and we can answer them as well. So what are additional unique community features on the website? Like I mentioned, you can download maps. And so this is the 500 cities data for Round Rock. And so this is a very exciting data point for us. You can download the Socio Needs Index that kind of Healthy Communities Institute, our vendor, has developed this index that kind of tracks needs across the county. You can download graphs. You can check out our different dashboards, our up-to-date 2017 demographic dashboard. You can download check data, download indicators, as well as the community tools and resources. We have a promising practice page. And so our vendor has kind of compiled all these different evidence-based practices as well as up-and-coming promising practices across the county. And if you're interested in, for example, creating a new health education class, you can kind of that education class or what you're kind of looking for, and it will pull up these different practices across the county that might, you can ask for more information or it can stimulate additional ideas. We have a community events calendar. Any organization that is interested in, that provides low to free community events can submit an event to this calendar page, as well as embed this calendar on their own website. We have Aunt Bertha, which is a sort of 211 meets Yelp, where community members can search for resources by their zip code, as well as organizations can claim their programs and refer individuals to a specific resource and kind of close the loop on that. Lastly, we have a resource library where the Alliance posts any presentations we have, any resources we think are important, as well as we are starting to kind of add different grant opportunities to our funding opportunities page. We just recently hired, the health district just hired a grant and sustainability coordinator that is helping us kind of bulk up this section. And so, if you have any questions, this is now the time to ask it, as well as just to remind you, please check your emails for evaluation. This is very important for us to kind of keep track on how we've been doing on our training.
So, does anybody have a question or anything like that? All right. Well, we really want to thank Melissa for putting this together. She's produced this workshop several times live in our county, as well as we know she's going to continue to do that from now on. And just to let you know that Melissa is always going to be available if there's some sort of question once you dive into the data. The Healthy Communities Institute pushes out new and improved enhancements to their website, and as those become available, we'll let you guys know through the meetings and such how those things are going. So so we'll go ahead and conclude our webinar. If we really haven't had too many questions, we do appreciate doing these webinars. It's certainly our pleasure from the Alliance and the Williamson County and Cities Health District. We also will have this published on our website under the resource pages, so that if you want to share this with someone else, and then also feel free to email us. So it's